let's finally talk about this URP thing. Now, you all know on this page, I try to talk nothing but facts and logic. So, hear me out. According to the allegations made, URP, like CPEP, had a bunch of ghosts working there in gangs, aka ghost gangs, aka persons who are on the payroll but not actually doing work. And this practice is a bad practice that needs to be stopped. We can all agree to that fact. You all still with me? Okay. If that is the case, which I wouldn't doubt is the case, but if it's the case, we can clearly see that URP and CPEP had workers because work was being done for the past how many years. So clearly they have workers who actually come to work every single day and do what they are paid to do. If there are ghost gangs within the organization, why not take office and remove the ghost gangs? Why not run an audit and see who is getting paid but not showing up to work, not signing any book, and fire them? What does the ghost gangs or the ghosts in the organization have to do with the hard-working men and women who actually used to come out there every single day in the hot ass sun to do their work? This is like having a dog with fleas, and rather than bathing the dog, you kill the dog to starve the fleas of a blood supply so the fleas can die. It's not only vindictive, it's also stupid. And anybody who thinks differently is an imbecile. Point number 2. I'm hearing the discussion that it was never meant to be a permanent job. It was supposed to be unemployment relief for 6 months and then you move on. Move on to go where? Where exactly were they supposed to move on to go? Have you all taken a look at the unemployment rate in Trinidad and Tobago recently? We have university graduates who can't find a job. We have people with experience who can't find a job. But there you all are trying to twist the English language to make it make sense, to pretend like the CPEP workers have all these qualifications and degrees and MBAs and masters, and they just don't want to go and take up an office job, so we're paying them $20,000 a month. So they stick in CPEP. And to get them moving, you have to fire them because they don't want to move on to bigger and better things. And let's talk about this bigger and better things, because I heard Mr. and Miss Man on the stage talking about you all can't just be grass cutters forever. Okay, until they get robots to cut the grass autonomously, somebody have to do it. Until they get robots and machines to cast a box drain, somebody have to do it. Not so? So let's not pretend like you all are going to take all these CPEP and URP workers, get them 6-figure paying jobs somewhere in the Twin Towers, and then replace them with robots on the road doing what they used to do.
All right. So that was basically Rambles, 7 minutes of trash. So you could go and listen to that if you have time to waste. But 7 minutes of trash that I am not willing to listen to. All right? Yeah, you know what has surprised me about Trini Rambles? He seems to be a guy, or used to seem to me to be a guy of reason and a guy of great knowledge, right? So when you hear Rambles talk, nobody wants to engage in a fist fight with Rambles or a verbal altercation with Rambles, because it seems that Rambles does his research and he always come and say, hey, I'm debating you on facts and nothing else but facts, and that's what he says he does. But this Rambles clip was, to me, more emotions than facts, right? We know what the unemployment relief program was for. It was, at least the indication of it, was to give persons relief. It's in the name, unemployment relief program. It is to give you relief from hardship, right? So therefore, if you lost a job, you could get a job from the state until you could get something for yourself. Or, because he spoke about pay, jobs, get a job, 6 figures in the towers, etc., etc. But the one thing that this administration, the UNC administration, always speaks about is innovation. And I realized I didn't hear any of that from his rant. Innovation and people being innovative. Because you, Rambles, and it's something that I always speak about. Persons like Certified Samson, Kyle, I am now seeing where even KFC doing brand deals, which is good, because it's something that wasn't always a thing. It wasn't always a thing. Content creators in Trinidad and Tobago had to really fight to just make a living, and it's still the same way here in Trinidad and Tobago, where they fight to make a living. But innovation is king. People like Certified Samson build a brand, which is important, and it's what young people should want to do, build a brand. It is what Trinidadians should want to do, build a brand and build themselves. Not always come out of school, go to the university, because you mentioned UWE, people going UWE and coming out and nothing, right? Your point in going to the university should not be to go to university to come out and get a state work, because that's the easy way out, and life is not easy. Unfortunately, Trini Rambles, no part of life in Trinidad and Tobago is easy, and nor it's meant to be easy for anybody. People living off the state. What I do here right now is me building for myself. I pay my own people, correct? I depend on government. I want to, but government don't finance this. But building something for the future is much more important than working for $1,000 a fortnight or depending on the government for something. It is the Keith Rowley-led administration that said to the people of Trinidad and Tobago that they need to wean themselves off of this administration or off the government. It is the same party that did absolutely nothing to help the people wean off the government. We tightened our belts about 6 times because Colin Imbert raised the price of gas over and over and over. You talk about removing the subsidies from the ANC bridge. We talk about removing subsidies at the pumps. But you're still here telling me that unemployment relief and CPEP is something that people should still hold on to and it should be a sustainable jobs when you have a duplication of that literally in the corporations. I see no reason to have Port of Spain City Corporation, Saparia Corporation, and corporations throughout the country, but then you still have CPEP, and you still have URP, and you still have to contract people to cut grass. If you need to cut grass, you have a department within the ministry, at least from used to be Works and Transport, Highway Drainage Division, that handle those things. And you should create sustainable jobs that way, instead of creating a program separate and apart from to create that level of corruption and that level of bubble that continues to lambaste Trinidad and Tobago's economy. Because we're talking deficit. That's what we're talking. Deficit is what we're talking about. But then you have literally today Trinidad and Tobago, the chairman, is it chairman, right? Yes, it's the chairman Khan, or Mayor Khan, sorry, revealing $50,000 fortnightly going down the drain. And that's just on the surface level of things. Because I hear Rambles in the clip also say nobody getting locked up, nobody getting locked up, nobody getting locked up. It's a talk that you just hear every single year. It's a talk you hear every year. Politics is politics, bro. He vexed for what? I think somebody he know gets sent home. Because that's the only reason why I could see this happening and see all this talk happening. Because it happens every year. Every election come and go, government do the same thing. And you know, tell me if I lie. We all in here Rambles talking about, you know, PNM, UNC, same thing. Yeah? And that's why he don't vote and he don't come out to vote because of this, that, and the other, and it's the same thing he voting for. Nobody coming to deal with the corruption. You all hear that? So now you have a government that's dealing with the problem, but you're vexed in the way that they're dealing with the problem because they should just listen to Rambles' way. There's not true democracy. You know, he's the one that does talk democracy and democratic processes and all kind of thing. But they had to listen to the way in which he wants to deal with the problem. Because if they don't deal with the problem the way that Rambles want to deal with the problem, then they're not dealing with the problem. That's Rambles' analogy. You're sending home thousands of workers, oh God, it's the same people that you say you care about. How can you care for somebody and leave them in corruption? Help me understand that. It's like you're telling Jesus, I hear you love me, you know, but you don't want me to sin. Obviously, he don't want you to sin because he loves you. He knows the outcome of sin. And we know the outcome of all the corruption. Poor people will be at the behest of it. It's either it happened now or it happened later on and much more people affected. Which one you rather? I can't even say that. But if I am not paying my workers, right, would you still be here? And even if you stay and I bring on more people and more people and more people and I'm paying them, what could be the outcome of all this? We run in corruption if it is that anyway. Rambles' analogy is not the best analogy in this scenario. He did that video based off pure emotions.